What's up guys, my name's Tom and welcome back to the FPL Centre. Time for the Game Week 17 fixture breakdown, and as always we'll run through the key upcoming fixtures from an FPL perspective and try to identify who could be in line to benefit from of the more glaring opposition weaknesses. We'll also take a quick look at my team selection as it stands heading into the weekend. If you like the content I'm doing here on both FPL and the Fantasy Champions League game, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and get yourself subscribed, and make sure to hit that notification bell as well so you know when the latest video drops. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So first up, we'll take a look at the Saturday lunchtime kickoff where Man City welcome Everton to the Etihad, as Pep Guardiola's side will be looking to get back to winning ways in the Premier League following last week's loss away to Chelsea. Over the last 6 game weeks, Man City have created the joint second most big chances with 20, tied with West Ham and only behind Liverpool there, who are just ahead with 21. City do rank top of the pile for generating shots in the box over that period though, with 64 attempts on goal from within the opposition penalty area, and no team has managed to score more than the 19 goals City have managed over the last 6 game weeks. Everton meanwhile rank 3rd for big chances created over the same stretch of games with 19, just one fewer than Man City there. The Toffees also rank 6th for generating shots in the box over the last 6 game weeks, indicating that they should be considered a dangerous attacking threat to a City defence that has only managed to keep 1 clean sheet since game week 10. Over the last 6 game weeks in the Premier League, Pep Guardiola's side have conceded the 4th fewest big chances with 10, which is fairly impressive, but considering that they only allowed 5 big chances to be created against them through the first 10 game weeks, to concede double that number over the past 6 could be a slight concern for those invested in City defensive assets. City have also allowed the 3rd fewest shots in the box to be taken against them over the last 6 game weeks, indicating that although we've seen a few more slip-ups in the City defence of late, including a couple of needless penalties given away, they are still one of the best defensive units in the league at limiting the number of high-quality chances and shots opposition teams manage to record against them. Everton on the other hand have allowed 13 big chances to be conceded against them, just 3 more than City have conceded, and they've allowed the 7th fewest shots in the box to be taken against them over that period. Everton concede the majority of crosses against them from the left wing, meaning that Leroy Sané could continue his great form if he starts. However, having started the last 4 games in the Premier League as well as a full 90 minutes in the Champions League against Hoffenheim midweek, he may be due a rest. Everton also concede the majority of chances against them on both wings, so if Sané is rested, it could be Sterling and Mahrez who stand to benefit in Game Week 17. Score prediction here is Man City 2, Everton 0. Next up, we'll take a look at the game between Spurs and Burnley, with the home side here coming into this one following their last gasp qualification to the last 16 of the Champions League midweek. It will be interesting to see if the midweek performance in Barcelona has buoyed Spurs forward, or if the extra exertion of energy there will take its toll over a congested run of tough fixtures. The Spurs have managed to create the 7th most big chances over the last 6 game weeks with 14, but have only managed to generate the 8th most shots in the box with 46, which is actually less than both Huddersfield and Crystal Palace have managed over that period. Burnley on the other hand have created the 2nd fewest big chances over the same stretch of games, and Sean Dyche's side rank worst in the league for generating shots in the box over the last 6 game weeks, having only generated 29 attempts on goal from inside the opposition area over that period. On the defensive side of things, Spurs have allowed the 5th fewest big chances to be created against them over the past 6, with 11, but they have allowed opponents to take the 6th most shots in the box against them. Burnley, however, have conceded the 3rd most big chances in the league over that period, with 16 created against them, and they have allowed the most shots in the box to be taken against them over the last 6 game weeks too, as they are tied with Bournemouth there as the worst in the league for that category, with 72 shots taken from inside their penalty area in recent weeks. The Clarets concede a lot of crosses from both wings, and there isn't a clear tendency for them to give up crosses more on one side than the other, but it does mean that Spurs should be able to lean heavily on their own tendency to put in 60% of crosses from the right wing. As far as conceding chances, it doesn't really matter which area of the pitch you look at, because Burnley are the worst in the league at conceding from any area. However, the most tend to be conceded on the right wing and in central areas, so we could be looking at a very big game for both Harry Kane and Son Heung-min here, depending on how Spurs line up. My score prediction for this one is Spurs 4, Burnley 1. Next up, we'll take a look at the game on Sunday where Southampton host Arsenal in Ralph Hasenhüttl's first home game in charge of the Saints, where we may get our first real taste for his take on the gegenpress approach to things. And the attacking side of the stats for this one makes for pretty interesting reading, as both Arsenal and Southampton are tied for the 5th fewest big chances created over the past 6 game weeks, with 11 each, and it's actually Southampton who have the upper hand when it comes to generating shots in the box, as the Saints have recorded the joint 3rd most shots inside the opposition area over that period with 58, and that's 10 more than Arsenal have managed during that time, although Arsenal have outscored Southampton 12-7 when it comes to the all-important goal count. The Gunners are a much better defensive side of late though, having allowed the 2nd fewest big chances to be created against them, as well as the 4th fewest shots in the box. However, despite the improvement, this has only resulted in 1 clean sheet for Arsenal since Game Week 7, and that came in Game Week 16 against Huddersfield at home. An important note for this week's matchup is that Laurent Koscielny is Arsenal's only available centre-back, with Mustafi and Socrates both suspended, along with Holding and Mavropanos, who both miss out through injury, so things may be a little more disorganised at the back in Game Week 17 than they have been in recent weeks. Southampton meanwhile have not done a great job at preventing shots in the box, as they've given up the 4th most over the last 6 game weeks. However, the 11 big chances that they've allowed to be created against them is only 1 more than Man City have given up over that same stretch of games. The Saints concede the majority of crosses from the right wing, meaning that Hector Bellerin, who has looked threatening of late, could be in line to finally return some attacking points here, while the majority of chances the Saints give up tend to come in central areas where Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang will undoubtedly be ready to pounce and makes for a very appealing captaincy option this weekend. My score prediction for this one is Southampton 2, Arsenal 3. Finally, we'll take a look at the biggest game of the weekend, where Liverpool host Manchester United at Anfield in the North West Derby, a game that has historically been a very tightly contested affair. Liverpool come into this one having created the most big chances in the league over the last 6 game weeks with 21, and the 58 shots in the box that they've managed to record is the 3rd most in the league over that period too, indicating that Jurgen Klopp's side may be getting back to their attacking best of late. Man United meanwhile have created 16 big chances over that same stretch of games, which is the 6th most in the league, but the 44 shots in the box that they've recorded in that time is the 5th fewest. Liverpool have also consistently been one of the best defensive sides this season, and that has continued over the last 6 games, as they've allowed the 3rd fewest big chances to be created against them, with 9, and no team in the league has been better at preventing shots in the box in recent weeks, as the 27 conceded by Liverpool is the fewest in the league for that period. Manchester United have done quite well at preventing big chances over the last 6, only allowing 1 more than Liverpool to be created against them, with 10, and they've also only allowed the 6th fewest shots in the box to be taken against them over that same period, with 41. However, the 8 defensive errors committed by Mourinho's men over the last 6 game weeks is a league high, and 2 of those have led directly to goals. United concede the most crosses from the right wing, which would normally be good news for Trent Alexander-Arnold. However, he will miss out due to injury, and it's unclear who will start at right back for Liverpool, with both Milner and Fabinho capable of filling in there. Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane could be in line to benefit from the number of chances coming their way though, as United give up the majority of chances on both wings, so Salah in particular could be in line to record his first goal against United in this one. And my score prediction here is Liverpool 2, Manchester United 0. So this is the team selection as it stands. I'm at 42k in the overall ranks right now, which I'm pretty happy with following 2 pretty poor game weeks in a row there. I currently have Fabianski set in goal for West Ham's away game against Fulham, and that's mainly to avoid a double up on Wolves' defence, and I may get Patricio in if Callum Wilson is confirmed out for the Bournemouth game, as that would reduce the threat that the Cherries pose to the Wolves' back line there. In defence, we'll revert to 3 at the back, with Alonso, Doherty and Alexander-Arnold currently in place. I do know that Trent has been confirmed out, so I will likely need to make a transfer there, but I'm yet to pull the trigger on anything. Aaron Wan-Bissaka could come into the lineup for his home game against Leicester, who themselves could be without Jamie Vardy this week, but Lucas Digne will almost certainly drop to the last spot on the bench. The midfield will be made up of David Brooks, Felipe Anderson, Anthony Martial and Raheem Sterling. Most of them have relatively good fixtures there, with the exception of Martial facing Liverpool, and he's another player who's flagged as doubtful at the moment and could be transferred out ahead of the deadline. And up front, Callum Wilson is currently set in the starting lineup despite another yellow flag there, meaning that it's 3 strikers this week, as he will hopefully start alongside Harry Kane and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The captaincy is currently on Kane, as I've been targeting this fixture against that awful Burnley defence for a while now. There is of course a slight temptation to captain Aubameyang against what could be a very naive attempt at a high press from Southampton, opening up plenty of space in behind for the Arsenal striker to do some serious damage there, but for now I'm pretty set on pairing the armband with Harry Kane. Make sure you do follow me on Twitter though, at FPL Centre, if you want to keep up with any transfers and changes that I make to the team before the deadline. So there we go guys, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, get yourself subscribed if you want to keep up with what I'm doing here at the FPL Centre, and make sure to hit that notification bell when you do so you know when the latest video drops. Let me know in the comments if you've made any big changes to your team heading into the weekend. Good luck in Game Week 17 though guys, that's all from me today, thanks for watching.